Yo, what is up? It is MLB Show Info, and we got a roster update this Friday. We're going to talk about 10 players that'll make you a lot of stubs. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about everyone because some of the people on the market have already caught on, but with this video, you'll be able to click off right after and get some stubs in your bank account. And make sure to stay to the end because we got 2 starting pitchers that could earn their upgrade today. Now, without further ado, let's jump right in the video.
I made a tremendous amount of money.
So before we hop right into the video, you can see right here that there's going to be stats from their recent update and the season stats, their current quick sell value, and the return on investment percentage I expect based on how much I think they'll go up in overall. So just to start this off, I think Bryce Harper is going to be an 88 or possibly an 89. I'm sticking towards an 88. So even though he's at 85 at bats, he's been on an absolute tear after his Tommy John surgery. With an OPS plus of 144, 44% better than the average batter, and he's only an 87 overall, there's so much stats for him to go around in his hitting category. Even though he has silver fielding and some decent speed, there's so much more he's going to get to his hitting with this update, which is why I believe it's going to stay between an 88 and an 89. Austin Hayes has a silver fielding badge, which allocates so much of his overall already hitting badge, which is only a silver. Right now, he's been on an absolute tear and is batting better in his recent update versus his season stats. And he's been playing for the season about 200 at-bats at this point. So he's having a great stretch, which is definitely going to allow him to increase in overall. Now, where do I think Austin Hayes is going to go? I think he's going to go from 81 to an 83 overall. 83 might be a stretch, but he's definitely getting his return on investment back. If you look at his community market right now, he's at a 535 sell now. I'd say around 530. And if he's going to go up 1 overall, which is almost guaranteed, that is a definite return on investment. You cannot lose here. But he could go up to an 83, and he can give you an over 100% return on investment. Now, I talked about Meyer in my last roster update video for early roster update predictions, and he's still one of my favorite players. He has a diamond defensive badge with so much speed, and he has a common hitting badge, meaning he has so much room to work with. As you can see on his stats, he has a 319 batting average this season, 15 RBIs, 366 on base percentage, 511 slugging, OPS plus 144, the same as Harper. Harper has diamond hitting badge, Meyer has a common, and he's hitting like Harper. Both are going to go up, but Meyer is going to absolutely explode with this update, and he's going to go up so many overall points. It's an insane return on investment, and is the safest one that you're going to make. So before you look at all the MLB The Show stats of Joe Ryan, I want you to consider one thing. He's sitting at quick sell value, so there's a no-risk investment. But he pitches later tonight at 8 p.m. And if you take that into account, you can't lose stubs on this. You can always quick sell right after. He's had 17 innings pitched with a 1.59 ERA. Absolutely great balls per 9 and absolutely great Ks per 9. Meaning those stats are both part of his weaknesses and will go up. And his return percentage could be a 25% or 50% based on if he goes 86 to 87 overall. But I really like this investment. You can hold on to him now. He can pitch later today. Maybe people don't even pick up on it. And there's a lot of stubs to be made because of it. Now, McClanahan is the second pitcher I was talking about in my intro who could really go up with a start today. It really depends on it. After looking at his stats, 18 innings pitched and a 2.5 ERA, it's not amazing for what he's been doing this season, but he only sits 200 coins, 300 now, above quick sell value, which makes his return percentage pretty high, I'd say, and it's very low risk. So I dump a lot of stubs into him and Joe Ryan coming into tonight at 8 p.m. when those pitchers pitch, and you could definitely make a lot of stubs on it. And worst comes to worst, you wasted a few hours of your time investing in them. As a Yankee fan, my favorite memory of Andrew Heaney was actually when he got DFA'd, and I was in the stadium and people were chanting DFA, the best feeling in the world, but it also sucks to see him do so well now. If we look at his recent stats, 19 innings pitched with a .95 ERA. His ERA on the season is pretty high, but I will say that he has a lot of potential for return. If we look at his price right now, just above quick sell value, and you know he's 1000% going up in overall after this update. So his return percentage is the highest one I have out anyone, but it is also a long shot that he'd go to an 80 overall in my opinion. I'd expect him to go between a 78, 79 after this update, but this is a guaranteed profit no matter what. The real question is, do you really want to spend your time investing in a silver that take a lot more time to make money or not? Andrew Heaney is an amazing pick here though. So I really want to include some relievers, but relievers are one of the hardest to invest in MLB The Show since everybody knows how good they're doing. It is so easy to track, and it's not a lot of work to be done, which makes the bad investors look good every once in a while. So in his last update, he's been pitching phenomenally well, and over the season, he's been pitching amazing as well. There isn't a lot of stubs to be made on him, though. I don't see him going up past an 88 overall, and his price is 270 coins past his quick sell value, so I personally pass on Josh Hader. But if you are looking for a reliever to watch after this update, I definitely keep an eye on Josh Hader. His return percentage, if he goes up to an 88 overall, is a 17%, which I think is pretty good, pretty decent for a beginner investor. Devin Williams, his counterpart who stayed with the Brewers and also broke his hand after a playoff game because he's stupid, is pitching very well this season. And I think his return percentage is going to be about 50%. He is sitting at 2,000, and I expect him to go up to an 85 overall after this update. The .54 ERA on 16 innings pitched. They haven't given him a lot of time to get out on the field and pitch. I really do think he's going to go up to an 85 overall, but it's not the card I'd invest in the most out of all the players I've talked about. I do think that Devin Williams is a great pick, but someone who can't exceed past an 85 overall if you plan on holding on to him. So if you guys feel like gambling on this last roster update, Neris is the guy for you. He's someone that a lot of people have already invested in. He's sitting above a 79 overall quick sell value. So if you're going to make profit on a quick sell, he has to go to an 80 overall. But there's a lot of stubs to be made on his quick sell value if he goes to an 80 overall. A 266 quick sell value. So is it really worth it? I think he's the most worth it reliever to go into. You can put a portion of your stubs in and get a lot back on it. But since his last roster update, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, great numbers, and it'll definitely boost those since they're not especially high on him. And throughout the season, he's had pretty good numbers in those areas, which I think he's just due for an update at this point. And a lot of being a reliever in MLB The Show roster update is being due for an update, and this is his due date. And if you did enjoy the video, drop a like, drop a subscription, drop a comment. I can give you advice on your players if you'd like me to.